Oh geez, what's going on? Strat Soldier here for the weekend shift. I'm all fuzzy. Give me a second here. I got a trick for that. Oh, it didn't work. Hold on. Is it live? Is the show live? Yes, it's live. Good Lord. Come on, you stupid camera. I will start this show over. Hold on. What the freak? What the heck, man? I swear. I was just doing the coaching session. It was great. You stupid camera. I swear. Is the camera that's what it is. Camera got a hangover from Halloween last night. That's what it is. Camera got a hangover from last night, and it don't want to work right. That's so funny. You stupid camera. Oh my gosh. I swear. Hey, what's going on? Strat Soldier here for the weekend shift. We just start over. That's what we do. We do over. That's what, you always have to have an exit strategy. Start over. I will turn this tank around. Don't you give me any crap. I will turn this tank around. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I will turn this tank around and your precious little field trip will be over. Thank you so much for you guys being in here and being patient. We got Marlon B in the house. We got Beach Bum. Go check out Beach Bum's YouTube. It's got some good quality information, and he does a lot of different things too. So if you're looking to create winning positions in other ways, get in there on YouTube. Terry Baker in the house. Let's see. Brent, Marlon B, Dub Jones. Good morning, everybody. And then for the people out there in Whatnot Land, what's going on? If you guys go down to the description of this video, you will see a link for Whatnot, and I'm live on Whatnot right now. Get you one of these Strat Soldier coffee mugs. Comes with 2 ebooks: Hammer and Force and Zero to Trading. All right, Hammer and Force and Zero to Trading over on Whatnot. And so Whatnot shows you that behind the scenes action, and then stratsoldier.com, you can get that same deal. But get you one of these Strat Soldier coffee mugs so you can laugh with me on Saturdays over here on the weekend shift. All right. Learn how to trade for real. Learning the strat on the street is dangerous. All right, learning the strat on the street is dangerous. Before we get too far into that, let's go to Cedric. Cedric got the execution course, and he says Strat Soldier explains everything to a T. A lot of questions I had about learning the strat are explained in the execution course. It's worth it. Don't miss out. I did a Strat Camp webinar last Wednesday. It was fantastic. All right, shout out to everybody that was there. It was a really good time, and it did go a little longer than what we normally do because they had questions, and we needed to get those questions answered, and we had fun. And they all at the end of the session, they all showed me a trading plan for the next day or the next week based on the strat. All right, all 3 universal truths. That's something they couldn't do before the webinar started. All right. Get in there. Let's see. My levels are a little high, a little peaking a little bit. Let me see here. What's going on? How you guys doing? Let's go see what's funny. Anything funny happened last week on Twitter, in Twitterland? Let's see. Technically, I only got like 5 minutes in my intro before I'm supposed to go over what happened last week. But let me see. Technically, them are technicals. Technically. Let's go over and see if anything funny happened over on Twitter, in Twitterland. I'm gonna call it Twitter. His mama named him Twitter. I'm gonna call him Twitter. All right, we're in Twitterland now. Anything funny happened in Twitter? Here is the Fed. All right, the Fed out here. TrendSpider, boy, they making some good memes out there. Good memes from TrendSpider. Yep. If you're seeing me out there on what's up? Yeah, the Fedden. All right, they're messing with us. I tell you what, they said they like to use indirect language. I really don't, but they like to use indirect language, and they said it's highly unlikely they're going to cut rates in December. Just say it. Just say no. We're not gonna. Stop messing with us. You're so welcome, Beach Bum. So welcome. He says, thank you so much for the shout out. All right, anything funny happened last night? Strat, Richard Judge, the Strat Judge, you will be judged. Thank you so much for everything, man. He's always posting good information. Yeah. Zay out here. I ain't seen Zay yet. Zay was out here if you guys watched the K-Love Trades interview last week, that was such a good interview. And I wonder how many people out there trading SPX now. Hit me up in the chat. How many of you guys trading SPX now? But he's saying a lot of people talking about this pullback or throwback. All right, throwback, because it's been trending, starting to come back to the mean. That's a throwback. And a lot of people talking about panic. Anyway, his friend says people talking about panic selling. And he says, I agree, the seduction of pessimism. And I'm pretty sure that was a song from Snoop Dogg. Maybe I'm wrong. Pessimistic seduction. Maybe I don't think that was, maybe it was a song. Maybe, I don't know. That was in my head this morning. Let's see. Shout out to Empowerment Assets. Man, he sent me a clip for the news, and I did not get that thing uploaded, so I'm going to have to give him some special attention and get his clip in here. I'm supposed to show that on the weekend shift, but Empowerment Assets, they've been doing a lot of good things. All right, I told him keep teaching him right and keep those stops tight. He's doing such a great job. Shout out to Mighty Soldiers, always doing great things. And then shout out to, we'll get to that one. Vincent, shout out to Vincent, all right, the Inside Bar Bandit. We'll see if he's out here for the weekend shift. Yeah, SPX is a beast. He says, I'd rather trade ES futures. That's what Marlon B says. I get it. So Vincent out here, we had a little back and forth and stuff like that, but we got together, we fixed it, all right? We fixed it. All right, and that's awesome. All right. That's what I'm talking about when I say I don't just trade the strat, I live it. That's what I'm talking about. All right. You'll hear me at the end of the show. I'm talking about, sometimes you got that inside bar on a relationship. So you got, a friendship. You got to fix that thing. Do whatever you need to do to make that thing go back to the upside. All right. That's what you need to do. Love K out here making some good money. John Smith, shout out. 8X Trades doing great things. Let me see here. 8X, what's the 8X talking about? Okay. Last week's price action, we're going to go over that in just a minute. Shout out to Ryan. Don, what's funny right here on this post right here? I was talking about these Fibonacci sequences. I don't use Fibonacci's for trading. I don't. All right. It's a sequence of numbers that was created it was a word problem made by Fibonacci. Leonardo Fibonacci back in the 1200s. All right, he didn't know what the stock market was. All right, It's a word problem based on pairs of rabbits, explaining how many pairs of rabbits you would have at the end of the year if none of them die, how many you're going to have at the end of the year. The number is 377, all right? That's a lot. But they get, and someone saw this sequence and said, you know what? I bet you we can use this with the golden ratio, which is another formula that was created by the Greeks in like 200 BC or something like that. I think it's 120 BC. But anyway, way before anybody even knew what a stock was. It wasn't even invented yet, all right? They used the golden ratio, which is it's 1.618, and then they divide, and they match that up with the Fibonacci sequence, and they go, oh, we have these lines that we could use. We have these percentages now that we can use for likely retracements. All right. The only reason they even use these numbers is because back in the was it the 70s? I think it was the 70s. All right. Wells Wilder was like, okay, a lot of these things are starting to retrace at around 33% and around 66%. All right. These Fibonacci numbers match up with 33% or 61% or 66%, all right? Around in that range. It's just numbers. It's just numbers. It's not real. Anyway, I was saying with the Fibonacci sequence, I wonder if these things show up in my lottery. All right, can I use these in the lottery? I'll use them then. Because if they're supposed to be magic numbers, do some magic. Make me some money in the lottery. Don said, can we full port? Yes, but only you. Yes, like these Fibonacci numbers. It's not, if they're supposed to be magic, make me some money in the lottery. Shout out to Ryan Filano. Shout out to him. Always doing great things. Hilarious dude. Anyway, yesterday, Inside Dale and the Spy, I'm like, get ready to get chopped up on Halloween. Get ready to get chopped up on Halloween. Get ready to get chopped up. Let's see. I got some funny stuff going on here. Anything? I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the Twitter stuff. Yeah, Stratimus Prime. Anytime I see any kind of Transformer stuff, I'm like, here's a good little meme, All right, a couple more things. Anything else happened last week? Zeus Trades, shout out to Zeus Trades. He just got his Series 6. He just passed his Series 63. Series 63. Very few people out here showing people how to trade that have certs, all right? Zeus Trades one of them, all right? I swear. There you go. All right, Zeus Trades. I'm working on my CMT cert, all right? SoFi Page, shout out to TiVo, doing great things, all right? And creating those winning positions. Yep. And then Zay also, we'll see if Zay comes out here, but Zay, he does his late night liquidation show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Great name for a show. Fantastic name for a show. Late night liquidation. The hammers don't play. Boy, them hammers work. Hammer in force. Do it. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Mr. F2 Rev failed. Mr. Failed 2. Bam. To the highs, hammer in force. I know where to put my entry. I know where to put my stop. All right, them hammers don't play. They do the work. They do the work. Talking about broadening formations, higher, lower lows, higher highs, and TiVo's starting to understand it. He's starting to get it. That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's see here. What's she talking about? Checkmate. Anything funny? Oh yeah. She's talking about catching a shark. Keep learning to fish. One day you'll catch a shark. This person caught a shark. Oh man. Let's see. Test the lows, test the highs. Again, talking about their broadening formations. Test the lows, test the highs. Test the lows, test the highs. Happy birthday to Love K. Doing great things. Anything else from last week? Yeah. A little bit back and forth. Mr. Luciano, I'm pretty sure he's in the chat. Mr. Luciano here. I'm pretty sure he's in the chat. All right. Let me talk about what happened last week. End of the month, end of the week. That's the only reason. Shout out Justin Davis, Strat Warrior. All right. The Black Stratter from the Black Panther. I like that Black Panther. The Black Stratter. All right, doing great things. He was in there in the Strat Camp webinar, learning how to trade the Strat for real. All right, learning how to trade the Strat for real. Learning the Strat on the streets is dangerous. All right, and then someone commented about how you would go a lot further if you quit talking about all these other people and how they trade the Strat. Probably would, actually, and I'm gonna calm down on that stuff. But when people are teaching other people how to do it wrong, I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. All right. Anyway, all right. I see things getting quiet out here. Anything else funny that happened? I don't think so. Let's talk about what happened last week in the charts. Marlon B, he's always got the great gifts. Let's see here. Yep. Last thing I'll leave it with here on Twitter. You will gain so much more knowledge, experience, and money if you just get the guts to trade the stocks. Forget the options and really learn how to trade, not gamble. All right? After you learn how to trade, then you can learn how to do options. All right? Then you can learn how to do SPX and all these other things. Then you can go do all that crazy stuff. Let's get to the charts. Let's do it. All right, I know you're like, come on, man, get to it. I know. I was just looking for some. I thought we had a lot more funny stuff out there in Twitter land. All right, this is TrendSpider, and this is multi-view. I used to call this Rob Vision, but this is multi-view, and you can see at a glance what's happening in the markets. All right, I have this. You can set this up with individual trades. I like to set this thing up with the sectors. All right, so I can see where the buyers and sellers are actually at, again, at a glance. TrendSpider, they're having a deal right now for TrendSpider. Get in the description, hit that link, get you some crazy deals on TrendSpider. SPY closed as a shooter. Dow Jones closed as a shooter. QQQ closed as a shooter. Now, Zay was talking about there might be a possible pullback, and there was a lot of, throwback. There's a lot of people talking about this throwback. Yeah, we're looking for some corrective activity, but we're doing that based on the actionable signals, all right? We're doing that based on the actionable signals, not just out here thinking, it's at the highs. This could be our double top. No. We have an actionable signal on the board, and we might be going to the lows. All right, we might be. Let's see. If you are a if you're a member of the Weekend Shift crew or a Strat Warrior, you got some special emotes in there. Use them in the chat just for funsies. XLK Tech shooter on the week. All right. XLU Utilities 212 down. 22 continuation down. 2-2 continuation down. This is a good example of why we don't get in early. All right. A lot of people could have said, well, we're trending up. We can keep going up. Yes, we could keep going up, but it did not. All right. It did not. XLE. This is having a lot of problems. All of this stuck in this mother bar. But then because of news and stuff from our president, they're like, oh, energies might be, that's what it was. We stopped talking to Canada, all right? And they buy a lot of our oil, and they're like, we're going to stop talking to Canada. So then Canada might be buying some oil from someone else. We do have an inside bar and a hammer on XLE. We'll look at that. So actionable signal on XLK and XLE. Labu Biotech's just I would say ripping, because this has been slow, but it's been a lot better here. It's been a lot better here. 212 up on the week, still good. All right, looking at those biotechs. I would say about with biotechs, what's interesting with them is when their drugs work, it just takes off. All right, when they have these trial tests and the stock goes, you know, it doesn't really, that doesn't work. It goes back to the lows. All right. But all this price action getting back into this level of reclaim back here, this level of reclaim back here. So now we want to see if we can get back above 140. Looks like 150. All right. We got to look at that on a different chart to really understand what's happening there. XLV, get a good target. XLV, ugly hammer. Now, me and Terry Baker were talking about, this could be a hammer, but it really doesn't fit the definition of what a hammer is. All right, that's what I call ugly hammer. That's an ugly hammer. And I'm not going to put that on our weekly watch list because I want to have a consistent definition of things. All right, I don't want to confuse the new Stratters. All right, this is a good hammer right here. This one right here, ugly hammer. So we're not going to put it on the watch list. But if you want to, that's fine. XRT retail back to the lows, which is really interesting because outside week, scenario 3 on the week to the lows. This is interesting because of the holidays. Like, what the heck? Everybody out here buying stuff for the holidays. That just means inflation is real, all right, and it's high. So we'll see. Not talking politics on the show, but the inflation's real. It's not gone away. And then semiconductors, shaking my head. Shooter on the week, all right, shooter on the week. I like this just a little bit lower to show that's really dropping, but shooter on the week right now, SMH. So what are we looking for? And then XLP, consumer staples to the lows. JJ says he likes consumer staples right now. I'm not. All right, this is going to the lows. Maybe he was talking about downside action. But if you're watching me, you need to go watch JJ. All right, JJ worked with Rob Smith for years, more than I did, and he learned the strat from the man himself. All right, so sitting behind him in his desk. All right. So go hang out with JJ as well. So actionable signals for next week. We're going to look for stuff in tech. We're going to look for stuff in XLE. We're going to look for stuff in semiconductors. Okay. 1, 2, 3 sectors. See how we're doing that? All right. And we're filtering out all these other sectors. All right. And we're filtering out all those weird individual stocks that we really don't care about. All right. Really don't want to, like Roblox. I don't care about Roblox. I mean, it might be going to the highs, but I don't care about Roblox. Yep, digging in the trash for the upside. That's right. People in here eating out of the trash, just scrounging. They're just like, Sometimes there is some trash. All right. Sometimes there is some delicious trash. But, overall, I want most of my trades to come from the sectors, all right? I got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. And UNH, I'll use my last 2 minutes to talk about UNH. UNH was a trade that I was in on the month, and I took a very small position because I wanted to show you. I mean, I guess I can still show the profits on that. It just it didn't hit 411.24. All right, that's what I wanted to hit. So maybe it'll be a good demonstration on how to manage your open positions. Okay, I'll see. I'll see if I can put that video together. I'll look at the data, see if it's worth it. But I took a position on the month, 2-2 reversal back up on the month. It was working great, but then I start seeing this happen. All right, and I'm looking at my week. All right, I'm looking at the week, and I'm like, scenario 3 on the week, starting to come back down. Scenario 3 on the week. Then I'm looking at my days in my 60s. I'm like, all right, there's nothing that shows this. This is starting to show. This is starting to show change. And if you were in the Strat Camp webinar, you know what I'm talking about. This shows change. Time frame continuity is changing. These three time frames are showing the sellers are in control, and now it's all 4. All right, so we had change. This thing is full time frame continuity to the downside now, and I did not get out on these two. All right, So what I did was I pushed my stop below this Momo shooter right here, and I got stopped out with profit at 343.67. Profitable trade? Yes. Did it hit my monthly target? No. Profitable trade? Yes. Okay. Now, once you start having trades, you create the winning position, add to them if you can, and then defend them with tight stops, and you get stopped out with profit. That little indicator you get, that beep, that notification, that turns into a totally different thing. That goes from I lost money to I made some money. Hold on, I made some money. Let me check my trades. I made some money. and so I can definitely say positively, UNH was a win for me. Now, it wasn't no 3,000%. That's what everybody wants to see on Twitter is 3,000%. Wasn't no 3,000%, but it was still a really good trade. All right, fantastic trade. Let's look for some actionable signals for next week. Everything pointing to the same direction. Looking for that downside action. All right. If you want to see some behind the scenes stuff, hit the link. Go to Whatnot. I'm live on Whatnot right now. Buy you one of them Strat Soldier coffee mugs. All right. All right. Let's do it. Let's get to what. Let's look for some actionable signal. Let's do it. All right, we in the tank. We in the tank now. Now, put those tickers in the chat. Put those tickers in the chat you want to look at. And also, if you want to, there is it's right here. Right here. Go to Super Chats. It's like a tip jar, right? There's some little ones. There's some big ones. The rule is if you use that Super Chat, I will stop what I'm doing and talk about what you want to talk about, all right? That's the rules on the Super Chat. And then shout out to Empowerment Assets. Thank you so much for the Super Chats for last week. And because of that, we're going to do a coaching session tomorrow for everybody, all right? For everybody. So get in there, use them Super Chats. Again, I stop what I'm talking about, talk about what you want to talk about. Let's see. NVIDIA. So what we want to do, it's a brand new month. Today's November 1st, brand new month. We want to go to monthly signals and we want to clear this list, all right? You want to clear your lists. If you want to keep something in there, if you want to keep stuff in there and monitor it, maybe it continues, that's fine. But honestly, for the weekend shift, for everything else, we're going to clean up all these lists. All right, you should be doing this all the time. Clean these lists up. And then 2 up on the month list, got to clean it up. All right, this thing should be empty. I got to leave something in there for TrendSpider, so my list doesn't go away. Maybe maybe they had an update and they fixed it, but that's just, it's a habit, so I got to do it. Anyway. 2 down, 2 up list. A macro list, we're going to leave the macro list where it's at. The Strat Warriors, I put out a new macro video. Go check that out. All right, so I cleared up my 2 down on the month list, 2 up on the month list, clear. Weekly signals, let's go down real quick, the weekly signals. All right, we already talked about what happened during the week. BDX, win, love it. Oh man, I don't have my sounds on, what the heck. Anyway, BDX, win, perfect. And then the market went to the lows and did some more. Went to the lows and did some more. All right, perfect. To the lows, BDX, win. Beautiful. No actionable signal for next week. Take it off the list. Take it off. CAL. Ooh, yeah, win. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Rev Strat to the downside. Costco Costco, shooter in force. Takes out that first one, doesn't take out the second one, but gets pretty good. All right, gets real close. Oh man, so good.
Perfect.
Love it. Come on now. How can you not be excited about this? Groupon, shooter went in force and didn't do too much. All right, came right back up. All right, didn't do a whole bunch. Let's see here. There you go. HZO. Look at this thing. All right, I had it colored green because it went 212 up, but then it went Rev Strat inside bar in a 3-1-3 to the lows. Wow.
Perfect.
Another win. All right. DQ to the highs. The DQ said, I don't give a crap what's happening in the rest of the markets. All right, it's a win on the week. It's a win on the daily chart. I do videos every day for the Weekend Shift crew and the Strat Warriors. I talked about this on Thursday. What happened on Friday? Come on now.
Perfect.
All right, another win. Beautiful. No reason to get out. All right, perfect time to add. And the money flow index definitely reconfirming they're putting their money in DQ. And if you did not get in there, don't worry about it, because DQ used to be somebody. All right? DQ used to be somebody. Yeah, I talked about someone, exhaustion risk. Someone commented about, you always make fun of other people and the way they do exhaustion risk, because they're getting people out of situations where they can actually make big money. That's why I take exception to that crap. All right. Here we go. All right, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing, looking for them actionable signals. All right. No actionable signal for next week. Take it off the list. All right. I got to get that soundbite on there. Hammer in force on Tesla. Still good. All right. Now, it looked like we were going to go to the lows, and it looks like I was going to get stopped out. I pushed my stops up underneath this. I'm like, if I get stopped out, it goes 2-2 continuation down, it's going to go below 440.26. Did it do that? No, it did not. It did not do that. I had no reason to get out. I could still be in that, and I am still in that. All right? So, still in that, still good. All right? Not necessarily a win, but it was still good. All right? I can still be in that. Take it off the list. NVIDIA inside and up. All right, this was an addition, inside and up. All right, again, with this one, as the trend's going up, you're like, you could have got stopped out here at 205.38, or you can push your stops up here. All right, did you get stopped out below 201.69? No, you did not. All right, depends on how you trade and what you do. We all have different time horizons. We all have different levels of tolerance for risk. All right, my knee ends the month as 2 up on the month, scenario 3 on the week, and that's an ugly shooter. All right, so we're looking for some downside on that. No actionable signal for next week. Take it off. Citigroup inside and up on the week, didn't hit magnitude, but you can still be in that. All right, look at that, beautiful. And inside on the month. It is looking like all-time highs. So inside on the month, we'll put that on the monthly signals list. That's right. Now you're starting to get it. Monthly signals list. All right. No actionable signal for the week, so we're going to take that off. AVGO shooter on the week now. Shooter on the week. We'll leave it on the list. We've been having a lot of repeats. That is a-okay. So we're going to see if this thing goes below. Make it yellow. We're going to see if this thing goes below. And I figured this out finally. I got to do this. Hold on. There we go. All right, 354.70. 354.70. Where's my
time frame continuity?
That's not the button. Anyway, wrong button. So AVGO, no, AVGO. We're gonna keep it on the list. Sorry, out of habit. 2-2 reversal back up. JP Morgan hammer in force and it hits magnitude. Nice 3-2-2 back there. All right.
The 3-2-2.
That's what that looks like. The 3-2-2, and that was a win.
Perfect.
All right, JP Morgan says, I don't care what the rest of the market's doing. We're going back to the highs. No actionable signal on the week, but it is hammer on the month. So go ahead and put that on the monthly watch list. Monthly signals. Monthly signals. We got to categorize our stocks by condition. All right. Letter A. This was brought up by Terry Baker. Terry Baker, Momo hammer on the week. All right. Momo hammer on the week. If that goes in force, it's going to go in force below. It's going to go in force above 148.65. 148.65. All right, let's see what they want to do. He was doing some really good ORB trading on this open range breakout. All right, shout out the charts. Anyway, we're going to leave that on there. We're going to remove this flag. All right, there you go. Here's another one. Remove this flag. Remove color flag. There you go. Expedia, now we have a shooter on the week. All right, keeps fighting to try to get up this wall of low, back up to 241.12. It's not really doing it. Shooter. All right, it is at all-time highs. It's jammed with buyers. They keep wanting to take our profits. Do they really want to take them down? All right, and we have a shooter for next month. So we're going to put this on the week. We're going to leave it on the weekly watch list. Put this on the monthly signals. ADI 2-2 reversal back down, doesn't hit magnitude, but you can still be in that if you want. Let's see if they want to keep selling them. Take it off the list. XPER, inside on the week now. If you really want to mess with this, go ahead, but I'm not seeing this doing anything. All right, kind of stuck. And I had it on here because it was 2 up on the month. I see the chat rolling. What's up? Is that Zay in the house? What up, Zay? You made it. Good. I'm glad you made it because we were talking about just some good things, all good things, but you were talking about people looking at these throwbacks, all right, or people talking about a pullback, all right, pullback. Technically, it's a throwback, all right. It's a throwback. It's a term that a lot of people don't like to use, throwback, but the trend's been up. The trend has been going up. This is Celsius. The trend has been going up. All right. And then it starts to reverse back down. Corrective activity coming back to the mean. That's a throwback. Google throwback. Google throwback. It's not a term that a lot of people use right now. People like to use pullback. I understand. I get it. A pullback is when you have a downtrend. It starts coming back up. That's a pullback. Anyway, I brought that all up to say I mentioned you because you're saying a lot of people talking about there could be some downside action coming, and now we have some actionable signals on the week that are showing that. All right, so now we're looking for some actionable signals for the week. That's what we're doing right now. Chevron. The rest of XLE is showing some downside. Not necessarily Chevron, but that's not a hammer, but it is hammer on the month. Chevron. So we're going to put this on the monthly watch list. Is it going to get back up to 168.83? All right, we're going to see if the next month goes above 159.23. You know what to do. All right, everything in XLE is kind of looking like this. All right, so Chevron is on track for that. Yes, you could be making money here to get back up to here. All right, if that's your goal, you're like, hey, I'm just trying to get above 159.42 and I'm just trying to take profits on 168.83. That's it. That's my goal. Do it. All right, but all this price action is stuck in this scenario 3 back here. All right, that's why we look at these broadening formations. That's why we use these broadening formations. All this is stuck trading sideways. Anyway, Chevron, put that on the monthly watch list. Monthly signals. Aaron said, pull back like a plane in a nosedive. I like that. Pull back. You're like, come on now. Come on. I watch too many army movies. I tell you what, the plane starts playing, pull up, and the plane starts shaking. Oh, there you go. I love it. I love it. So Chevron on the week, no actionable signal on the week. We got some repeats. VRTX didn't do much last week, but we did end as a hammer on the week, trying very hard to get back up to 471.64. It's trying hard. We'll leave it on the list. All right. AIG, the insight on the week for next week. Let's see what they want to do. All right. AIG, we'll leave it on the list. Celsius, I was looking for this to go to the upside. I did put my stock market buy order there. It did not trigger. Guess what? I didn't lose any money. All right. Think about that. Think about that. Anyway. Disney Mouse. What you doing, Disney Mouse? Hammer on the week. All right. You try to get your act together. It's trying. It's trying really hard. Here's your broadening formation on the month. I mean, it's trying to get back up here. Keeps getting knocked down. Tries to come back up. Gets knocked down. All right. Keep getting knocked down. Man, does it want to pivot machine gun back through all this and get back up to 124? It looks like it, but we'll see. The technical analysis people will say that's a line of resistance right there. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right, it's having a hard time to get above 124.85. But one thing I want you to remember is we gauge participants by price and time. Yes, there might be some resistance up here. Once it gets up to 124, they start selling. That means some people, those people in technical analysis, the institutional buyer says, hey, once it gets up to 124, take your profits. That's fine. But I want you to remember there is no team resistance. There is no team resistance. All right. There's no people out there going, all right, you're going to lose your job if you let this thing get above. If Disney goes above 124, you're losing your job. Make sure you put all those sellers orders in there at 124 or you are cooked. All right. There is no team resistance. All right. It's just that, we use these terms to just talk about how once it gets up at above 124, people start selling. All right. But all these these bars, these candles, they're not just candles. They're participation groups. These are buyers. These are sellers. The green participation groups that, they're adding positions. These people right here are selling. They're cutting positions. All right. They're getting out or they're selling to the downside. All right. All right. There is no team resistance. All right. Same thing as there's no team support. If it gets below $79.88, you are done at this organization. You're done. There is no team support. All right. You need to be looking at these things, looking at participation groups. Kroger to the lows. That was a win.
Perfect.
All right, to the lows, and then continued to the lows once the entire market went to the lows. That's what I'm talking about. Kroger, the grocery store needs to go to the grocery store. All right, Kroger got beat up. And that's what I'm talking about. And when the market went to the lows the last 2 days, remember that the lion does not go after the sleek, strong gazelle at the front of the pack. It goes after that uncoordinated rinky-dink gazelle in the back. All right? The one with the broken horn, all right, is straggling around. It's got mange. That's what the lion goes after. It goes after those easy targets. Yup. Yep, it's all those technicalities and how it fits in a person's perception. That's true. Hey, go watch Late Night Leverage with Zay. It's a really good show. I'm learning a lot. I like that business cycle thing you guys are looking at. I like that. It's good stuff. However, yes, I agree with you. Candles represent participation groups, participation of buyers and sellers. Yep, that's right. That is right. And that's all I'm talking about. The basics of trading, all right? The basics, well, I say the strat, but the basics of these candles. What are we really looking at, And that's awesome. That's what I like. And that's why we're here, all right? Two different ways of trading, but still making money, all right? That's what I'm talking about. Visa Visa scenario 3 on the week. Blah. All right. Yuck. Get it off my charts. Get it off my charts. Remember, hey, now's the time to put in those tickers. Put in those tickers you want me to look at. If you use the super chat, I stop what I'm talking about. Talk about what you want to talk about. Also, now's the time to start putting in your questions about the strat. Do you have questions about the strat? Put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. ABBV doing nothing. ANET, not really a shooter, more like a doji. All right. Get it off the list. Take it off. ABGO. ABGO shooter on the week now. Let's see if they want to take profits on this thing. Yes, it's at all-time highs. All right, that means it's jammed with buyers. Let's see if they want to take some profits below 354.70. All right, let's see if they want to take some profits below that. Let's see if they if that hits magnitude at 336.59. All right, let's see if they want to do that. We'll leave it on the list. Hey, so weekly watch list. This is what we got so far for the weekly watch list. Remember, we had actionable signals. Let's go to broader averages real quick, and then for Zay. I was talking about how I pulled up your tweet about people talking about a possible reversal on these charts, and this is what we're looking at here on the oops, wrong button. This is what we're looking at here on the strat. All right, blow up that weekly chart so we can see it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right. So now we have an actionable signal on the week. Actionable signal shooter. All right. Well, I like that shooter to be a little bit bigger, right? A little nicer, but we're showing some a possible corrective activity, possible reversal on the week to the downside. If that truly goes to the downside, it's going to go below 679.24. If that happens, the magnitude in the first target for this is going to be 663.10. All right. What I'm not doing is going, well, it could, if it's going to go below the 9 SMA, it could probably hit the 15 SMA, and then it'll probably hit this other SMA, and then we'll see if it hits the VWAP, and then we'll see if we'll see if they're really selling. Then we'll see if it goes below the 200-day. I'm like, nah, bro. All right, if it's really going to start going to the downside, it's going to go below 679.24. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Give me, no more guessing. I want some decisive action. I want actionable signals. I can make decisions on. When I see a shooter, I can expect the price could go to the downside. I can expect that. All right. Zay said, "Yeah, bro. People keep trying to predict doomsday. Yeah, that's true. They out here predicting doomsday, and it keeps going back up. They predicted doomsday back here, went back up. They predicted, well, it's consolidating here, but then it went back up, all right? They predicted doomsday and then went back up again. I was telling Inside Bandit, Vincent, shout out to Vincent, I was telling him, the price keeps going up despite the news. The news says everything is bad. Everything is bad. We out here blowing up boats for no reason. We said we ain't talking to Canada. We said tariffs on everybody. Everything. We putting tariffs on the tariffs. And the market keeps going to the highs. Come on, man. He said put tariffs on the tariffs? How's that? How are we going to make any money? Goes back to the highs. Wait, hey, man. Like, hey, don't fight the Fed. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about when we say, hey, we might be looking for some downside. What I'm not doing in the strat, what we don't do in the strat is go, oh, we have an actionable signal. It might go to the lows and then do this. All right, I see a lot of shows where they do this. All right, they put some unrealistic crap on the chart. All right, they go, oh, here we go, market structure. This is what it could do. This is market structure. This is where it's gonna probably. Come on, man, give me some targets. Give me a reason to create the trading plan. Ain't no arrow all the way down to the lows. Anyway, I'm talking too much trash. I'm talking too much strat trash. I'm talking too much strat trash, trying to wake up the chat. Wake up the chat. All right. I'm talking, also, if you're new to the strat, put a 1 in the chat. If you're new to the strat, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Actionable signals, we're still looking. If you got a question about the strat, put it in there right now. XLE, inside bar, and then XLK. No, it was XLK with a shooter on the week. All right. XLK, shooter on the week. XLE, inside bar, and then it was shaking my head, semiconductors. All right, shooter on the week. You ain't new to, yeah, okay, all right, you're new to the strat, all right, you're new to the strat, I'll slow it down. So I just talked about shooters, all right, an actionable signal and why we should believe, why we could expect some downside action, okay? So that one's for you. I slowed that one down for you. So let's go to, and we only got a few more minutes left, so we're going to use the Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner. The Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner. If you get in TrendSpider, they're having a sale right now. Hit that link in the description. Get you a really super crazy deep discount on TrendSpider. And we're going to go for inside bars, and we're looking for XLE. So I'm going to go down my XLE, and we're going to scan. Most of the time, you'll see me go down these things, line by line. All right, but for now, because we're short on time, we are going to do it like this. All right, use that Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner. I got some inside weeks. APA, Apache, APA. Come on now. Are we going to the lows? Look at small cappers, Dow Jones on the yearly. Those are, yep, outside year, scenario 3. That's right. So based on the strat, how long? As long as small cappers and Dow Jones stay above prior year high, continuation be in play? Yes, I'll look at that in a second. Yes, it can be in play, but I'm going to keep going. Hold on. Let's put this on the weekly watch list. APA, let me go down this and I'll answer that question. BKR inside on the week. We got some old stuff on the charts. All right, inside on the week. Inside weeks can go either way. Give me a second. I see the chat rolling. Coop, COP. Looks like they want to keep going to the downside, but it is inside week. Put that on the weekly watch list. Devon. What Devon doing? All right, 2-2 reversal back down last month. Do they want to keep selling it? We'll see. All right. Inside weeks can go either way. Devon, FANG, inside on the week, FANG, and it's been going trending down. All right. VLO, inside on the week, a lot closer to taking out the highs. We'll see what they want to do. Weekly watch list, XL, and then XLE as a whole. All right, that's why we started looking at that anyway. So let's go to Dow Jones. Let's go to small cappers and then Dow Jones. So IWM. So you're talking about yearly candles. All right, Zay's talking about yearly candles. How much longer? We could see some continuation, right? Yes, as long as we stay above last year's highs, above 245.40, you're still good. All right. The issue is time. Again, we gauge participants by price and time. The problem here is time. We only got 2 more months left in the year. We only got 2 months left in the year. This is a different conversation when we're talking about, let's go look at VRTX. I made some good money on VRTX earlier this year, okay? Pharmaceuticals. That wasn't VR. Was it VRTX? Yearly. It was 2-2 reversal back up. Let's go to the macro list. Hold on. I must be getting this wrong. I got to be getting that wrong. Hold on. Because that's a terrible example. VeriSign. VeriSign. All right. Right now, VeriSign not doing much. Going to the lows. All right. You see that on the weeks. You see that on the days. All right. But the yearly chart. I made some good money at the beginning of the year above 210.77. It took out all these targets and went all the way up to 309.86. Warren Buffett was in this thing. All right, VeriSign. Beginning of the year, hammer in force. So the conversation about continuation and how much we can make and potential profit we can make is a different conversation at the beginning of the year than it is for the last 2 months. All right, so yes, IWM and Dow Jones. Let's go look at IWM on the year. Small cappers. All right, there's the year. Let's look at Dow Jones. again, despite the news, everything just keeps going to the highs. All right. We have to consider that by price and time, we only have 2 more months left on this trade. All right. We only have 2 more months left. He says exactly. So only 2 months left, and they both close above. So I believe they both go higher in the last 2 months to finish. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dow Jones has a lot more reason to. I mean, look, they're showing no selling. So, but what you want to do is monitor these months. All right. Yes, we got these yearly charts. Yes, we got these quarterly charts. You got to monitor these months. Right now, Dow Jones is showing no weakness. All right. Small cappers coming down just a little. All right. So you're going to monitor these months and weeks. Months and weeks. You're going to monitor that. Okay. And also stuff trapped at all-time highs. It's at all-time highs. And then people, they're going to take profits. I've been saying that on your show too. They're going to take profits. They gonna take profits. Hey, let's go to these. Let's go to I don't know, Schwab. No. Let me find a good one. UNH. Nah, let me find a VeriSign. All right, VeriSign was really good, and then they started taking profits. All right, you can go to Insider Traders right here on TrendSpider. Look at it, James. Look at James selling. James messing up. Hold on. You ain't trying to listen to me. Hold on. James, why you messing up my trades, James? Huh? Look at James selling. He been selling for months. This all James. This James' fault. I can look at this and go, this is James' fault. James the reason why I had to get out of this trade. This James' fault. Tim, you too, Tim. Deborah. No, Deb. All right. I ain't mad at Deborah. Deborah bought some. Deborah got awarded some trades. All right. But golly, it's all James. James is the reason why I had to get out since June. I'm finding you, James. I'm coming to your house. He still owns a crap ton of shares. He still owns a lot, but he sold 2,000. He sold 2,000 on October 22nd. All right, that's TrendSpider. Get in there, hit that link. They're doing a Halloween sale. All right, but James messing up my trades, man. Come on, man. James wrecking my trades. What I'm saying is these are real people. These are real, these candles, participation groups. So we want to see what's at. We have to monitor the month and the week to see what's, is it? Yes, we look at those higher time frames. Yes, we're going to look at those higher time frames and look for that continuation. Yes, but we also have to monitor what's actually happening on, the months and the weeks. All right. James out here wrecking my trades. Just up, Jesse in the house. Nothing wrong with market structure. Nope, nothing wrong with market structure. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so Jesse, since you came in on that, nothing wrong with market structure. What I'm saying with market, what I was saying was, let's go back to something that was like this SPY. Nothing wrong with market structure. All right, it makes sense. All right. It's also, but if you look at market structure and you line it up with the broadening formation, just watch the broadening formation. It's a lot easier to deal with. What I was talking about is this. People doing this. With the Strat, all right, with the Strat, you got people, hold on. With the Strat, we look at our actionable signals and we say, okay, we have a reason to believe this is going to go to the downside. If it does, here's our price. If it hits magnitude, here's our price. That's what we do in the Strat. What I was saying was people get on these shows or people get on, Twitter or whatever, and they just draw a line and they go, well, based on market structure, it can go way down here. All right. They do these doomsday things, That's what I was talking about. So I wasn't talking smack about market structure. It all lines up with the broadening formation, but I'm not doing this. I'm not getting on the show doing this. I'm not getting on the weekend shift doing these numbers. All right, get ready. You better buy a generator this weekend because the SPY's about to look at this. Look what my lines tell me to say he can do. Look at the market straight. Hey, that's not what I'm doing, okay? That's what I want to illustrate to you, okay? Nothing wrong with market structure. All right. We must be tired. We must be tired. Yeah. IMHO, they will delay taking taxable gains until early 2026. Yep. Hey, yeah, Beach Bum has been following these weird little things. Tesla. All right, Tesla. He's been watching these ETF things. All right. I said I need to watch these because I don't know enough about them. Apple is another one. But for me, it just keeps going to the lows, you know. That's my perception. But hey, if it pays out dividends monthly, hey, do that stuff. Do that stuff. Roku, I'm looking at Roku. Ooh, yeah. Why am I looking at Roku? All right. The year. Still 2 up on the year. Just triggered that actually. 2 up on the year. Yes, we only got 2 months left, so let's go back to what Zay was talking about. All right. You found something that's 2 up on the year. I only have 2 months left on this. All right. So I'm creating this winning position because hopefully it goes 2 up next year. Come on, Roku. Get your act together. Come on, man. Come on, Roku. Because it used to be somebody. All right. It used to be somebody. I wanted to get to 236 because I got down here at $100. All right. That's what I'm talking about. It used to be somebody. 490. All right, 490. 2021 COVID. Everybody at home watching TV. Come on now, Roku. It was valued up there before. It was evaluated up there before. They could do it again. Come on, Roku. Anyway, let's see. Actionable signals. Let's look at NVIDIA. Let's look at AMD real quick. Those are the ones that really move. Semiconductors. No actionable signal for next week. No actionable signal on the month. AMD. Ooh, she's starting to get a little testy. All right. AMD. Zay loves some AMD. Look at this thing now. Fantastic month. What's next month going to open up like? Okay. Not necessarily a shooter on the week. I would not call that a shooter. That's more like a doji. The open and the close are pretty much the same on the week, but it's still 2 up. All right. Do they want to keep buying? That's what we want to see. Do they keep buying? She's acting a little funky right here. She's doing the right stuff. She's doing it, you know, she had a little bad day back here. She had some bad days back here. She had a little attitude. She's stomping around the house, you know. Then she had some good days, you know. She happy, y'all going to the park, she's sitting down watching her favorite Halloween movies with you. And now look at this, you ate up all the candies she likes, you know. You asking if you can go through her candy bag, and she like, no, you can't have none of my candy, you did it anyway. Now she trying to yeah, that monthly candle was amazing. That was amazing. But now she you know, she looking at you, side-eyeing you. She's side-eyeing you and stuff like that. Like, you really like this Halloween movie? This movie sucks. We'll see what AMD wants to do. That's a little inside joke. It's a public inside joke. Everybody sees me on Twitter, boy. We having fun about AMD. I tell you what, it's I think it's the drama of the price action that people like, and it's fun for me too. It's the drama of the price action. All right, are we going to the highs? Are we going to the lows? And that's the fun of trading. It is. That's fine after 40% in a month. Yeah, to the highs. Oh, you saying okay? He said, I made my 40%. Hey, you want to stomp around the house? That's fine. Oh, that's funny. Yup. She burning the food on purpose. You're like, you ain't affecting me, girl. That's funny. Anyway, UNH had to take profits on UNH. On that, I already talked about that. Anyway, actionable signals. I think it was tech. Let's do the Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner for tech on shooters, and then we're going to shut this thing down for today. All right, thank you so much for everybody being here. This was fun. And then there will be, I'll do another episode, a short episode with the news from Empowerment Assets. Okay, I'll do that later on today. The only thing that was, the only thing I'm seeing is shooter on tech. Oh, no, let's go to tech. Sorry. Shooters on tech, let's run that again. Strat Soldier Easy Setup Scanner. INTC, looks like there's the only shooter that's picking up right now. I'll have to go through here and see if there's any more shooters. But it looks like there might be some profit taken on INTC. All right. Which would be good for me because I wanted to get in on this. Shout out to Primo. I did not get in on this because things that the government's getting in on, it's been crap. But anyway, trying to get back up to 60. All right. 51. The level after that, 68. All right. And it's moving back up. So if this goes back to the lows and it goes back up, a little bit of throwback, get back in, that's what I'm looking for. So off of tech right now, the only thing I'm showing is this. We'll look for some more. All right, let's go to the weekly watch list. This is what I got on the list. Not a ton. All right, not a ton. That's fine. That's fine. We're also looking at monthly signals list. All right. And I'll be searching more, and maybe that's what I'll do. I'll look for some more monthly signals, and I'll run that Empowerment Assets news reel. This is what we got so far on monthly signals. All right. This is the Strat Soldier. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get out of this tank. It's getting hot in here. All right, thank you so much for being here. This was fun. Thank you so much for being in the coaching session. Oh, I got helmet hair. Thank you so much for being here. This was fun. Go check out thestratsoldier.com. If you watched all of this and you're like, man, I don't know how to read charts. I don't know where to start an account. I don't even know how to get in on anything when I do start these charts, all right? When I start these trades, go to thestratsoldier.com. Get the Strat Starter Kit. The Strat Starter Kit, you get 2 ebooks, Zero to Trading and Hammer and Force, and you get one of these Strat Soldier coffee mugs sent to your house so you can laugh with me on Saturdays and, create these winning positions, add to them, and defend them with tight stops. This is the Strat Soldier. Thank you so much for being here, and you guys have a good weekend and a good month. All right, have a good month. And like I said, I don't just trade the strat, I live it. So if you're in a situation where you're inside bar on a situation, all right, do what you need to do to get that thing to reverse back to the upside. All right, make that phone call, send a postcard, go visit somebody, go do something. All right, it's Halloween. All right, Halloween weekend. I heard people still doing some Halloween things, even though Halloween was yesterday. People still doing some things. So that's good. Whatever you do, be safe, be careful, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.